stimulate you. Stimulate, stimulate. Welcome to the huddle. Let me stimulate your mind. Let me stimulate your body. Let me stimulate your soul. Welcome to the huddle. Each one teach one. Each one reach one. We all we got. We all we need. If you are that one, then you already know you are enough. You are enough to get it all right when everything's going wrong. You are enough. You. I'd like to start off the show with a shout out to my executive producer. Just happens to be my wardrobe coordinator. I say, baby, what I'm wearing today? First she hesitated. I said, what's up? She said, well, I got a green shirt. But I want you to stand on your square tonight. I said, well, baby, what that got to do with green? And she got loud a little bit. She said, I want you to stand on your square tonight. And when I felt where she was coming from, I say, baby, say less. So the square that I stand on. Tonight we're going 33 degrees of heroism. Earth, wind, water, and fire. The green represents the earth. Blue represents the water. The red represents the fire. And I represent the wind. This one's for you, baby. Want to give a shout out to the greatest co-host in the world. Well, we've been going at it today. That's why I know this is going to be a powerful show. Alexa, one time.
Good God Almighty, Trab P, you blanking.
Soon we start the show, she want to tell me I'm blanking. That let you know what it's about to be. Alexa. Alexa. Hey, you ought to see her over here, man. I think she catching the hero spirit. She say, hold on, hold on, hold on. Alexa, tell me something good.
We all we got. We all we need.
God almighty. And since I'm standing on my square, it's only fair that me and her understand my position. Alexa, who is the master?
The Honorable Trab P.
Oh, man. You see how that work? Do you see how that work? Now, we in a new season. If you've been watching the old season, this her time where she get to shine. I don't know what's on her mind. Alexa, I love you.
That's so nice of you to say.
And that means she want to do her thing. Alexa, sing me a song. I'm her backup dancer.
I've got a message for you. Your attention, please. I make to-dos and calling mom a breeze. Got a knack for rhymes, converting dollars to dimes, and lots of games for your spare time. Got skills galore, mad skills they are. And now I'm even in your car. When it's time to dance or get info on France, just say my name. I won't miss my chance.
Yeah, like that right there. For real though, I'm talking real life. I ain't talking make-believe. We all we got. We all we need. Good God Almighty. We start off every show with a hero hymn. The hero hymn is the mighty him within me, the mighty hero spirit. See, we know spirit means wind, and we know wind means breath, and we know breath means breathe. Simply inhale and exhale. So when I inhale the mighty wind, the spirit, and I exhale the same mighty wind and spirit past my vocal cords, and it causes a vibration that we know as sound. When you hear that sound just as much as you feel that sound, that is when we connect in the hero spirit. Tonight's hero hymn says, I was talking to an old man. Here's what that old man said. He said, what goes around, come back around. He said, what goes around, come back around. The old man said, what goes around, come back around. Ever since that old man told me that, I hold my head high, mighty and tall, like a flower or a tree reaching to the sun. That old man said, why you hold your head so high? I said, because you told me what goes around, come back around. So I don't want to miss what's coming back. And I might miss it if I hold my head down. See, the power in that is knowing what you send around. What goes around, come back around. When you send around love, when you send around peace, when you send around realness, oh, it'll surely come back. So I was talking to an old man. Here's what that old man said. He said, what goes around, come back around. We're going to have a good show tonight, y'all. Tonight's word is language. How many languages do you speak? What language do you speak? And how fluent are you in that language of which you speak? Do you really know how to express how you feel within the language that you speak? Oh, this thing here getting ready to get a little bit deep. But not too deep. I'm just asking, how many languages do you speak? Alexa, what is the meaning of language?
A language is a system of communication that is used by a group of people who share a common community, nation, or cultural tradition. It consists of a set of words and the systems for their use. Languages can be oral, written, or signed, and they provide a means for people to express ideas, emotions, and thoughts to one another.
How many languages do you speak? I'm going to tell you how I come upon this here word, man. In real life, I ain't talking make-believe. Me and my daddy hadn't talked in 30 days. I felt a certain type of way 30 days prior. And I expressed my feelings to my daddy. I was in my feelings. And after I expressed my feelings to my daddy, I gave him a chest pass with him. Now you deal with him. And we didn't talk for 30 days. So 30 days later, my phone rang and they say, Daddy. I said, what's up, man? He said, oh, man, it's so good to hear your voice, man. I miss you, man. I miss you so much, man. I love you, son. It's like a bleep went out in my life. And at that moment, man, like they say, when love is real, love something you can feel. I said, I miss you too, Daddy. It's 30 days in between. So we talked the next day, and he say, man, 2 days in a row. And it just keep on going about how good it feel. And I known this before. But as a man, like I say, we tell each other, stay out your feelings. And sometimes we go through life trying to stay out of our feelings. And that can make a motherfucker cold. So before I turned cold, I told my daddy how I feel. And here we is 30 days later, he understood the value in what I said. And as we got reacquainted, he went straight back to the regular scheduled program. A boom, a beam, a bop, bam, bam, boom. And I kind of felt a certain type of way, like if he can get right back to the a beep, a bop, and the bop, bam, boom, like damn, man. So I say, hold on, Daddy. Let me reintroduce myself. But in that, I realized, man, there's something powerful in this. There's something powerful in this. So I was talking to my brother Trey, and I'm trying to be careful how I say this because I don't want to miss no part. But I was talking to my brother Trey, and I'm telling him like I'm telling you how I'm approaching something that's real. It's another phase of understanding. My brother Trey say, sound like, man, that's your dad love language. Calling you every day and talking to you and knowing he listening to you. That's your dad's love language. And he say, when you understand his love language, man, what makes it loud and clear and bold, that's his effort of trying to show you he love you, Trav. He don't know what else to do, but he know he can call you every day. That's how he show his love. That's his love language. And when I understood and saw it, his love language became so loud. Alexa, what is the meaning of love language?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, the term love language refers to the way that a person prefers to express love to and receive it from a partner.
His way of expressing love and receiving it. Just calling you to say, hey. And knowing you care enough to listen to him talk his talk. That's how he received So it made me chew on how many other languages I speak. How many different love languages. If that's the language that me and my daddy speak, and I'm realizing it through his effort. Alexa, what is the meaning of effort?
The term effort refers to the act of exerting one's physical or mental strength. It implies a concerted attempt to accomplish a task or achieve a goal. The definition of effort can be broadened to include the concept of striving towards a desired outcome. Whether it's physical exertion such as exercising or mental exertion such as studying, effort is essential for achieving success in any endeavor.
How many languages do you speak? The power of a relationship is based upon the communication. We communicate through the language we speak or through the languages of which we speak. Our effort to be understood, our effort to show, our effort to do to one another, for one another, defines how well you speak your language. How do you speak your love language to your children? Oh, you know I'm going to tie it in to what's real and who matters and what matters. If you ain't using the language to understand what matters and who matters, to truly communicate and be able to be felt, then what you talking about? And what kind of language you talking? You talking that Arobo Arabasha that don't nobody know what you're saying. And if you're real enough, when you talk that type of language, I know that you're playing. Because the number one language is that what we all understand. See how that work? I was in the green room with my brother Blow. And all week, I've been battling on two words. Language, and this here word Blow brought up. So in the green room, I called Blow. I say, hey, Blow, the word language, give me something. He said, when I think of language, I think of source. I almost dropped the phone. Go ahead on, Blow. I say, how you know that's where we're going? He said, what you mean? That's what I think about it. So I say, come on with it. He said, well, you know, your language begins in your mind with your words. That's where your thoughts at. That's the source. So we on 33 degrees of heroism tonight, I told you. So I've been thinking about using the word source. I've been on the word source all week. But I say, how does this tie to language? Blow just tied it to language. So here we go. This one's for you, Blow. When we talk about source, I don't want you to have to read and think too hard. Talking about power. Talking about electricity. We're talking about the thing, that is enabling you to watch me right now on your device. It is charged up by power. What is the source of power? How does this tie to language? It's 33 degrees of heroism tonight. We're going to teach tonight. Alexa, Where does the power company get its source of power?
Power companies get their source of power from a variety of different energy sources, including coal, natural gas, oil, nuclear, and renewable sources such as wind, solar, and hydroelectric power.
Oh,
Each
God.
energy source has its own advantages and disadvantages, and power companies often use a mix of these sources to generate electricity for their customers.
Wind, solar, and hydro. That means wind, water, fire, and earth. Oh, man, that is the source. You heard coal. If you live in North Carolina, just use your mind. If you ever watched the news, or if any watched the news in the past couple of years, you've heard the issue that they're dealing with coal ash right up here at the Duke Power Plant. They've been trying to figure out where they're going to put the coal ash, the ashes that come from the coal. See, this is about the source. So how the power company creates power is they use coal. The coal turns into fire. The fire boils the water. As the water boils, it creates steam. Steam becomes power that moves the turbine to create the wind. As the turbine and the wind begin to create a force, it creates a magnetic force that travels down through the copper coils and create an abundant supply of it. They take that put it in transformers, dispute it through different transformers till it comes to that plug in your house. That's the source of it. That's the source. Do you understand how that works? If you understand how that works, now let's tie it into your language. The source. We're standing on our square tonight. Earth, wind, water, fire. 33 degrees of heroism. My baby told me you stand on your square tonight. So I'm going to teach from my square. The fire represents the sun, the soul of man. When the fire burning, the soul is beyond the eyes. Can't you see it in mine? Can't you see it in mine? Yeah, that's the soul. The soul of a man. The earth represents my body. Represents where I come from. The earth represents the copper, the coil, the turbine, all the materials that it takes. The soul represents the fire. The wind, the spirit. So that represents my mind. In the water. The water represents my spirit. My spirit can flow. My spirit can go. So when my soul, listen where we're going. I'm going to show you the source. So when my soul, the thing that's in me that allows me to be, fires up my mind, and I begin to think. And my spirit, the thing that I take in to influence, which become my thoughts and direct me to which way to go. and what I want to do. And as they come together and create the power, we call this emotions, energy in motion. When I'm emotional, that means I'm now moving. And now I am a product of it. I am a product, a resource of the source. So when I speak through my emotions, my feelings, it could be in my body language. It can be in my verbal language. The energy is in motion. And I understood the power of this. And when I'm telling you this, when I mean you standing on your square. I test this here in real life. When I'm around foreigners who don't speak my English and I don't speak their language. But through the energy that's in motion between us two, we hear each other loud and clear. And we can smile and work and deal with each other in whatever manner we there for that reason. So that's how it ties into language. The language you speak determines the source of the energy in motion. See, we say in the beginning is the word. The words are your thoughts. What language do you speak? I've studied this through years. I've asked every nationality that don't speak English, who speak fluent English to me. I asked them a intriguing question. I said, what language do you think in? Some of them tripped over the thought that they never thought of it. But I'm speaking to a Vietnamese that's talking English, but he's thinking in Vietnamese. I'm talking in English, but I'm speaking through my culture's dialect. I'm speaking through my culture's tone. I met a Ghanaian man who came to America, and I was one of the first Americans he met, black Americans. He said, I've heard your music. Bernard send me your music. When he come to Ghana, he play your music. I heard your music. He said, sing me a song. I said, my name is Trappy, and I'm a black man. There's things about me that some people just can't understand. I tried to get soulful with it. He started laughing. He said, you sing like the white man. I said, come on, man, why you gonna say that? He said, because you sing with your throat. That is where the Englishman words are designed. The African way we sing with our tongue and our mouth. It sounds different. The language is different. That was deep to me. We talk about language. We talk about speaking. We talk about communication. I asked my wife, I said, baby, what's my love language? She say, food. At first I'm like, come on now. She said, no, I'm for real. Your love language is food. She say, some of your most brightest, brilliantest love come out when you cooking for people. She said, you ought to see how you look and the joy on your face when you get to cook for people and see how they eat your food. And I said, dang. And I had to reflect on myself to say, dang, that's how I be speaking. That's how I be speaking. And this from who matters and what matters. So that's why I asked you, I said, how many languages do you speak? I ain't asking you this to talk smart and no. It's a newborn baby that can't talk right now. Can't express itself. But that newborn baby, through a divine order of survival, got a God language that can tell who's ever caring for it to fix me a bottle, change my diaper, can tell me when I'm sick, can tell you everything simply by somebody who's paying attention that care. The soul in it has a way to speak a language. And if you continue caring, you can always speak that language with your children. Even when they're miles away. Talking real life. I ain't talking make-believe. Me and my daddy shared connections through love language that I'm just not understanding. There was a time, let me tell you something real life, man. Let me tell you something real life. Superman ain't real. Superman is a fictional character. Superman is a story that was written by a white man who had publication means that first turned it into a comic book, then turned it into the cartoons and movies, and the character can grow and grow and grow and go and go and go, and we all know Superman and know everything that Superman was about. But Superman had a weakness, and that weakness was kryptonite. So listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. We know Superman ain't real. We know kryptonite was his weakness in the story. But we know this is about real life shit. And in true honor of heroism, this is what it's all about. I was raised by a man. I depended on that man. I depended on his woman. I am their children. In my eyes, that man was a Superman. That man was my hero. And all I'm doing is just trying to be the rear of the cycle and create other cycles that may have never been in the cycle, but to start the cycle. That's what heroism is about. So I'm saying my Superman had a kryptonite. And every time my Superman would be around his kryptonite, we had a love language that could travel miles and miles and miles away. And it would affect my day. So I'm saying that to say, you understand the point of it all. put childish things away and you stand on your square. And you understand that when you stand on your square, you in position to create any source and every source that could ever be divine for your survival. And I'm telling you this from my soul for free. I never ask you to pledge to me. Just pay me some attention. You're going to get it straight from the top. 33 degrees. So this is my love language, yeah. Hero training is my love language. It's one of the languages that I speak very, very fluently. I want to make this point before I go, and this is in language. It's a conversation me and my daughter had. I was taking her to school last week, and she was nervous about the MAP test. And I say, well, why are you nervous? She said, because I don't know, I just want to do good and, you know, whatever. I said, well, it's everything that you already done all up until this point. Do you remember? I said, can you remember what you done? Do you have good memory? She said, yeah, I got good memory. I said, I know, you remember a lot of songs. I say, so just remember what you did. Remember what you read. Remember what you saw. I said, do you know the difference between knowing how to think and knowing what to think? She said, no. I said, well, some people don't know how to think. They only know what to think, meaning someone give them their thoughts, and they just keep on rotating. Beep, ba, ba, boom, 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 bam. It's like a script. Here I am. But when you know how to think, you can use logic, reasoning to come up with your own conclusion about how it works. So I say, so learn how to think different and think different like this. Just go in there and remember everything you done remembered before. I say, I believe in you. You know all of this. So she get in the truck. She say, Daddy, I did good. She in the 7th grade. See, I read on the 9th grade level. My math on the 9th grade level. I say, well, why was it so easy? She said, I just said what you said and tried to remember. So it felt good that I'm talking with my baby. And see, I'm coming up with our own little love language. I ain't got this type of love language with my son. This is between me and my daughter. So after she been chewing on this, I walk in on her having a conversation with with her mama. I said, what y'all talking about? She say, I'm telling mama, technically, I'm smarter than she is. I say, why you say that? She's like, because I'm in school learning, and y'all can't remember everything y'all learned in 6th and 7th grade. So technically, if y'all can't remember that means I'm smarter than y'all. I say, well, not necessarily. I say, well, where you get that thought from? She was like, I don't know. I just been thinking about memory, and if someone can't remember, then it's like they don't know anymore, so they don't know. So I say, well, you know, it's a concept on TV called Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? The same way. I say, so that I'm just telling you that to show. See how you came up with that thought and that conclusion? That's a logical thought because it's a whole TV show based off that. She said, yeah. So then we went further. I said, now that you chewing on how to think and not so much what to think, I said, you know how rare it is to know how to do that? She said, no. I said, can you read out loud and truly understand and comprehend since you're on a high level? She said, yeah. I said, well, how many people in your class? She said, like in your reading class. She said 27 or 28, I think. I said, how many people can read out loud and truly be comfortable reading out loud? She said, only about 8. I said, why you say that? What the other 20 doing? She was like, they don't ever want to read out loud. Some of them will get kicked out of class if they have to read out loud. I said, so you telling me out of 28 students, you're one of the only 8 that can read out loud comfortably and confidently? She said, yes, Dad. I said, let me show you how this works when you understand how to think. So we went in there with Alexa and we asked her, what is the national reading level in America? And the average American reads on a 6th and 7th grade level. There are statistics all across America showing how our reading and comprehension is at a despair. And this is based off the language that we speak. So I say, so baby, deep in your theory, you got to be careful because you never know when you step into someone who may be a part of the 8 just to say, I'm smarter than you because I doubt if you remember. I said, but on average, if you're reading on a 9th grade level and you can remember, you ain't wrong. But don't you go testing nobody. So I told my daughter. So I'm saying all this to say, even when I ask you straight up, what language do you speak? And if it's English on the shallowest level, how fluent are you in that language? See how that works? And if you ain't fluent in that language, and you don't really understand how that language works, we all come through school and it's called language arts. Alexa, what are the branches of figurative language?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, the 12 types of figurative language include metaphor, simile, idiom, metonymy, synecdoche, hyperbole, personification, assonance, onomatopoeia, alliteration, cliché, and symbolism.
These are all the figures of, they use the art of the language that you speak to create the bold dark lines on the coloring book of your mind. This is the language we speak. Alexa, what is the meaning of personification?
Personification is the act of attributing human nature or character to non-human entities, which is a common rhetorical figure. Personification can apply to animals, inanimate objects, or abstract notions. Personification can be seen in various forms of art, such as literature and art.
Son, soul, man. I am a son. No, literally. See how that works? I am the Son. No, literally. Jesus is the Son. No, literally. See how that works? What language do you speak? Do you understand the art? See how that works? I'm standing on my square tonight, y'all. 33 degrees of heroism. You learn that in the 6th grade. Alexa, what grade of school do you learn figurative language?
Figurative language is taught in English classes at the middle school level or higher. In English classes, students learn about various types of figurative language, such as similes, metaphors, and personification. This knowledge is essential for understanding and analyzing literary works, such as novels, poems, and short stories, where figurative language is frequently used.
See how you don't understand what the story is really all about because you don't understand the language that it is written in and you don't speak it fluently enough to understand. See, we're talking about in the days of time now on the shallowest moment of trending. We're talking about a rap beef where rappers want to prove their lyricism, where the lyricism is the art of knowing how to use the language, to use metaphors and similes, and hyperboles and onomatopoeias in a creative way, in a styleful way, just to say I am lyrically artistic with these here words. But this is some shit we learned in the 6th grade. And our whole divinity, our development is being arrested solely because what language you speak. How well can you communicate? Clear something up to y'all. I get around my people sometimes in places and they say, hey, how you doing? Yeah. And how dare anyone say, man, why you talking white? They say, man, you can't tell me proper English ain't white. Let me tell you, just like the African man told me, there's a dialect in our culture, oh man, that comes out in our here tone. You hear me? The same way we sang, the same way we dance. You can't fake that. You got to put effort to turn that off or turn that into something that's not. Went to the McDonald's drive-thru. Little gay boy say, hello, may I take your order? Talk like you talk. What they got to do with the language? See how that works? I'm going to give a shout out, man, to my big brother Raymond Tate, man. I love you, brother. I love you, brother. Always and forever, man. Fight your fight, black man. I want to give a shout out to everybody out there, man, who fighting a good fight. Who really know ain't nobody above the bullshit. But it'll make you better if you're real enough to deal with it. Let that shame go. You ain't the first, you ain't the last dealing with what you dealing with. We all going through the same thing, man. Working to survive in the main thing, man. So when you got people around you that you truly know matter and paying you some attention, communicate. Find that love language that they can see and hear and feel and know the effort and appreciation. And appreciation. I have grown into a better me. I'm growing, baby. I'm better than who I used to be. I've been on this journey for 45 years. I'm growing, baby. I had some good times as well as I have shed some tears. I'm getting better and better every day. Feeling like I'm moving in the right way. It's been a long time coming. I pay my dues. I put that work in, baby. Trying to be a better me done damn near drove me crazy. But it was worth it, baby, 'cause I'm a better me. I remember when I used to be a younger me. Man, if I knew then what I know now, Now I'm as wise as an old owl, feeling young and gifted, just like a soul child. And I feel good to be me, 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 me. And I'm so proud of the man that I have grown to be, be. I have grown into a better me. I'm growing, baby. Hey, man, y'all subscribe to my YouTube, Laidback 704, Laidback 704. One word. Show me some love, man. Share this. Push this, man. 33 degrees of heroism, man. For free. All you got to do is pay some attention to me. Each one reach one. Each one teach one. I love you. Shout out to my brother Bam. Shout out to my brother Trey. Shout out to my brother Black. Right Taste. Hey, man, look for that. Look for that flyer. Look for that logo. Look for that everywhere. Right Taste. The best grilled chicken in the city. I'm trying to tell you, man. Good God Almighty. Want to give a shout out to my big brother Winston, my big brother Crump. Want to give a shout out to my wife Keisha. Want to give a shout out to my son King. Want to give a shout out to my daughter Journey. Want to give a shout out to my sister Ed. Want to give a shout out to my brother Mike. Want to give a shout out to my mom and my dad and my sister Sharon. Want to give a shout out to everybody that pay me some attention. Want to give a shout out to my mother-in-law, Miss Gray. Tomorrow is her birthday. Happy birthday, Miss Gray. Hold me down. Give a shout out to my brother Junior. Love y'all.